having me.
Welcome to the W in the JG Sports Network. Today we are joined live with the owner and promoter of one of the biggest shows out in what's the place in Oklahoma that y'all are located?
Right now, we are located in Wetumpka, Oklahoma.
All right. He is the owner and the promoter of Majestic Championship Wrestling MCW, Oscar the Amazing. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
So,
Appreciate it.
what is it like being an owner for a big company?
It's at first it's nerve wracking, because you want to please the people, and once you start getting shows under your belt, it's like it starts becoming normal. But it's really fun.
What do you have a question for him, Kenny? Some good questions. I know you've been saying you've had some good questions for the last few days.
Yeah. Um, what's it like? Just put on these shows every week, like for all the fans out there. Just a reference. What's it like doing it?
It's a thrill. It really is. There's something about it that just like it's a surreal feeling. Like just hearing the fans chanting your name because the last show they did that, and the show before that they did that, and it really got to me. That's a good feeling.
I'm certainly glad for you, man.
No, no, I,
So
I heard when you first texted me, I heard you were talking about Neshoba. I'm gonna take you to you watched the podcast with him. He said he was from
yeah,
he did matches NCWO, MCW. What is it like working with Neshoba and a lot of the others that you have on the show?
the Shoba he's a class act. He does everything that he's told. He sets the ring up. He tears the ring down. He comes to every show, and man, he's all around. He's a good guy, and I love what he does. Especially, I saw his first match in NCWO, and I was impressed. So I was like, hey, I'm getting this company going. Why don't you come wrestle for me? And yeah, and the rest is history.
Yeah.
I'm still trying to learn it to train more to be a wrestler, and it's my dream to become a professional wrestler one day. And then yesterday he's like, um, try to talk to MCW or something. Don't limit yourself to one company. Just try to see what he says. And I'm like, well, I could. That's why another question was here is how what is it like to well what goes behind signing people? What does it take to sign people? And what do they have to have? Like character traits and what's that like?
Well, that's a tricky question, really, because it depends on who you are. I don't do a deep background check like that, but I'll do something like I'll message, say, Neshoba. I'll say, hey, Neshoba, what do you think about this guy? He'll be like, oh, he's a good dude, or don't sign that guy. He's not very great. So it depends on who it is. But usually it's Facebook. I get a hold of them through Facebook, or they'll get a hold of me. They'll say, hey, I'm so and so. I got this much background. I've been training for so and so years, and then I'll look at that, and then they'll show me clips of their matches and stuff like that. And depending on what it is, I'll say go ahead and give me a shot, and this is the pay, and if you like to pay, then keep coming back.
I'm,
Mm-hmm.
and another reason I'm trying to find a good um try to wrestle is not only is it a dream of mine, but it's a good job that I don't care what the pay is. I mean, I'll work for free if I really had to. It's just something I've always wanted to do, and if I was able to like wrestle for your company or something, I would just need a ride there. And my girlfriend, she travels with me. It's like a manager deal almost. She loves to
Yeah.
watch.
All right. Well, if you ever come down, just we'll give you like a tryout match, maybe. See
All
how
right,
you do.
that's why I'm wearing this today. It's like my decide to dress the part: leather jacket, gloves, and face paint.
Mm-hmm.
I like it.
Thank you. My wrestler name that I'm going with is Dylan Psycho because I feel like it's a something that not many people have. Something custom I've used from WW 2K23 that's carried on for a long time.
Okay, maybe
Yeah.
maybe if you get good enough, you can join the Psychotic Messenger.
All right. What do
There
you
you go,
think?
man.
Kenny, what kind of questions, other questions do you have? I'm still trying to think of some.
Um, I mean, what's it like owning the company? Like, how did you get started with like how did you even get started with wrestling? Like, what made you decide to become a wrestling owner?
Well, I've been a fan of wrestling all my life. My dad passed away 4 years ago, but um, ever since I was born, really, like I just watched wrestling every Monday. Monday Night Raw, and went to my
Hmm.
first event back in was it 96, 97, something like that. And I was like, man, this is a good thrill. I love this stuff. And
Yeah.
I never became a wrestler. I thought I thought about it, but then I started getting older, and I was like, well, maybe
Yeah.
it's not that. Maybe I should start doing shows. And we had our first show September 10th last year,
Wow.
and that was it was all right. But the show itself was good. Like we had a stat card, and Alpharat was there, Neshoba was there, Logan Knight was there, Montego Sika. Pretty good names for first show. So
Yeah. There you go.
Now I've heard
did
some
pretty
things
good.
about your company about sometimes you can get like pro wrestlers. Like I've seen someone say something about WWE or Impact Wrestling stars come to your show sometimes and try to wrestle there. Is that something that happens normally?
Well, this next show that we have is coming up September 30th. It's entitled Sucker Mania because it's during the Sucker Day Festival,
All right.
and
Wow.
we actually we were going to have JTD come, but we had a little issue with that, so he's not be able to make it. But we had Mikey O'Shea coming. He's out there in California, and
Hmm.
he's wrestled in the big league stuff like that. And Brandon Groom, he's been coming to wrestling for us, and he's also been in the big leagues stuff like that. But
Yeah.
I think the biggest name, I guess, biggest draw we've had. Um, and don't get me wrong, everybody that wrestles for me, like they're the best. They're the best draws ever. So, but I guess it'd be Mikey O'Shea because what he's doing right now and where he's been at, how long he's been doing it. Like I said, everybody on the card, they're good in my book.
Yeah.
Everybody is.
And so it's like you don't have any favorites. Like everybody gets the same treatment. They're all equal. There's no favorites, basically.
Right,
Hmm.
right. I mean, I do have my favorites, but I'll keep it to myself. you know. But
That's fair
once
enough.
the show goes, once the show's on, and everybody's in the back, back, and they get treated exactly the same. And if you're, mean or unruly to me, then that's it for me. But usually
Well,
they're pretty nice.
I think if
Usually,
somebody's mean to the owner and promoter, that's not good for their storyline.
No.
yeah, exactly. Like, well, here's the door, buddy.
So when if somebody's wanting to sign with your company, do they like for me, if I wanted to, would I be able to drop some kind of like fictional promo on somebody that works for your company and post it on Facebook to see what you think of the acting ability that I have, just to see what it would be like?
Yes, actually, that would be a pretty good idea because promos is where it's at. That's where you get your exposure. And depending on how your promo is, like right now I'm in my car, so that's actually a big no-no. Don't ever shoot a promo in your car. But
Yeah.
like the biggest thing to do during a promo is like a beautiful background. Even if it's a 3D background, as long as it's something, as long as you're not in your car, standing outside. You can do it outside. Don't get me wrong. Like for instance, I shot a promo with uh, Jason the Elegant Simon. Um, we shot one at the Fire Lake Casino in Shawnee,
Yeah.
and a lot of people were actually surrounding us, watching us, and it was pretty exciting. But I was trying not, keep a straight face. I was like, oh man, there's people watching, but it was pretty fun.
When I
Yeah.
when I cut promos, like I do a lot of like how people these days are doing like this 2K WWE 2K23 COD community wrestling shows and stuff where they're doing like
Yeah,
promos and stuff. I do stuff kind of like that, but I'll shoot it in the I do my promos in the bathroom with the door closed with because we have a red light that we use and it really just goes in with the character of mine who's dark, twisted, and sadistic.
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. That's actually a pretty good idea too. When you're in your house by yourself, you can do stuff like that. So as long as I don't know, the car promos they're tacky, but if it's like part of your character, I can see it. Like I guess a promoter, but I'm in my car making deals or something like that.
Mm.
Well, if you would like me to before the end of tonight, I will have a promo for your company up on my Facebook page for that.
Okay. Tell you what, you send it to me too, and then I'll actually put it on the Facebook page for Majestic. Everybody can see.
All right. Like if I'm gonna cut a promo, I might cut a promo on the one of the guy I get along with the most, Nishoba. He's almost like a brother to me. When I first met him in NCWO, when I was helping set up the ring back a few months ago for Fight or Flight, and him and Dominic Whiteheart, I got to meet them too, which were two amazing people. The way that Nishoba portrays himself in and out of the ring is amazing. Even though he was getting booed at NCWO, it's like you heard a few cheers, you heard a few boos. It's just perfect with the mixture.
He's actually a really big face at our company. He's really over. He won our 24/7 on call championship. The first show, he defeated Alpharet, and then the second show, he lost the title, and then he won the main title against Alpharet,
Yeah.
and everybody loved it. They jumped
One
out of
thing
their
I
seats.
one thing I will say is I'm more when it comes to wrestling, I'm not the kind of high flyer that dives out of the ring. I get I do I base my character off Bray Wyatt's Fiend character and a little mix with between
Mm-hmm.
him and Darby Allin mixed with the Undertaker a little bit. Something that was good promos, but something with a dark and twisted mindset.
Yeah, if you like clown gimmicks, look at. I know Doink the Clown's not a good, you know, but if you look at his evil Doink promos, stuff like that, those are pretty evil. Check those out.
All right.
Hmm.
What other questions do you have, Kenny? Because I think I got off topic here just a little
No,
bit.
that's all. No, that's all good. I'm just sitting here watching, listening to it, so it's just pretty cool. Um, see, I'm not much as a wrestling fan as I used to be as a kid. I'm more like a racing guy. But what's it like just making like how many shows do you do a year? Like how many shows a year do you usually do?
Right now we're actually doing once a month until I think December, but we did 8 so far during the year,
Gotcha.
and yeah, we're going to take a break in December, and we should be coming back in January. Which uh, right now we're staying in Wetumpka. We're doing pretty good there. Uh, we were starting in Seminole, then we moved to Holdenville, which
Hmm.
that was pretty good show Holdenville did, but for some reason they didn't want us back. But that's a long story. But
Yeah.
Wetumpka, they're good people there. They let us run over there, and we're doing pretty well.
Y'all should one day try to get a show down here for MCW down here in McAllister, Oklahoma. We have some nice people down here. Heck, I think even if you and Richard got together and did a kind of like something WWE does with Raw and SmackDown, having like a Survivor Series almost type thing, but it's MCW versus NCWO. Get
Yeah,
some
we're actually
big
me and Richard talked about it a couple times. And he's a good guy. I love Richard. He's a great guy.
nothing like
Uh, right
nothing like
now,
NCWO being owned by the whole McAllister Police Department and the owner being the chief of police.
oh yeah,
It's amazing.
yeah. We actually have Sheriff, the Showbiz partner. Him and they're the Native Law. They're going to be taking on Psychotic Messengers for debuting tag team championships. So we'll see how that goes.
Hey,
But
if
they're
this works
actually
out,
they're
if this
good guys
works,
in our company. So
if this works out with me like you think it might, maybe I might be able to be part of that psychotic messenger part as maybe before I start wrestling, maybe like a manager of some sort. That way I can be close to the ring, but not wrestling until like whenever y'all think I'm ready and stuff.
Yeah.
yeah. And if you're looking for like a wrestling school, I know we're thinking about doing it because that's why I put that post up yesterday actually. And the best wrestling school you can go to, I'd say, is Great Gallows. He does a hell of a good show, and he also does a hell of a good school. Like he trains a lot of good people down there.
Yeah, I mean,
And I think Richard did have a school at one time. I don't know if he still does it or not, but I know he trained a lot of good guys there. So,
I
but
know he's. I know at one
Great
point
Gallows, man,
Richard said at one point if he put the ring back in the gym, he would train me. But I don't mind if, like, say you had your ring up somewhere, and if Neshoba wanted to show me train me a little bit of what he knows, I wouldn't mind training with him either.
all right. I'll tell you what. If you can make it to September 29th, we're going to put our ring up uh, the day before the show. So, and the show was going to be there. He's supposed to help out, and
I just need,
a couple other guys.
I just need a ride there. If you're okay to see if that ref will bring me and my girlfriend, I could do that. Because I won't have a ride either. Unless that happens.
Okay, I'll see what I can do if I can find somebody that way. Uh, because we're gonna, uh, they've shown me a couple things, and like I know how to take a bump, and it sucks, but
I
I
mean,
can take a back
if I
bump
want
and
to
a front bump.
if I want to be a wrestler, I got to learn how to take the bumps. I got to learn how to get hit with weapons and everything.
Yeah,
Because it's not, if
yeah,
I'm not ready for that, then I'm not fit to be a wrestler. But it's a dream of mine. So
exactly.
I got to chase my dreams like my mom and my stepdad always told me. And my girlfriend even says it too. Chase your
Yeah,
dreams.
there you go.
Even me. Even me.
That's
I
right.
mean,
Jason.
Another question I have: when it comes to dark gimmicks in your company, what's the best part about what's the best part about your dark factions there? Is it a fan favorite when it comes to people who are psychotic and dark?
Right now, the psychotic measures they're pretty bad guys, but they're like fan favorites where we're at. Lucian Lovis, like his character, he's a devil guy, so uh, he's actually being cheered and everything, and his wife, actually, I almost call his girlfriend, no, his wife, Nabria, she does pretty good too.
Yeah,
So,
I mean,
um,
if I get signed, I won't have all this makeup on. It'll be just like normal face. This is just something if I had like a time where I just want to paint my face. Other than that, I'll just have it'll be plain face.
yeah, well, I like the clown gimmick, I really do. But if there's one person I think that you should look up and like you know base your character off of, and that's Evil Dwink. Like check
All
his
right,
stuff out for real. It's good stuff to look at.
I will. And when I cut promos, I really look between how Bray Wyatt did his promos, and I'll look at how Undertaker cuts his, and kind of I have to get in character and have a like a lower tone voice because I don't want to use my regular voice because if I'm in character, I want myself to sound completely different to what I normally sound like.
Yeah, we actually the last show we had. I won't tell you who's behind the mask, but we had Boink the Clown and Dark Carnage. They were there, and that was pretty funny. It was a pretty good time. And but we had them, chase kids around and stuff like that. It was pretty good. They usually come out, and we had them in our battle royal at one of our shows, and it was a good time.
My
Seems like it.
my main goal in a wrestling company is not to earn a title quickly, is to grow to earn myself a spot to show people what I'm made of. And if I have to do that just by working my way to the top, is do it.
Yeah, there's actually a quote that I use all the time because I heard it in a movie,
Mhm.
and it's like a old musical, Rocky Horror Picture Show. I don't know if you guys ever seen that movie or not.
I've I've
I've
Tim
never
I've
heard
seen
of
Curry.
it.
it. I've seen it multiple times with my mom. It freaked
So
me out.
there's that song. It, Don't dream it, be it. I always use that. So
And we have another guest coming on
that's the
here.
motto I go with.
We have another guest coming on here real quick. Wolfie Oxide wants to ask the promoter a question because Wolfie
Oh,
Oxide is actually a wrestler in a wrestling company in Canada.
okay.
Oh wow.
So go ahead and ask some more questions real quick, Kenny. While I give him the stuff.
Um. So these are about your championship belts. Who did you have make them? All the belts you have in your company. Who?
Well, one of our belts, uh, it's a guy overseas. He made two of our belts, and then another guy made. So the first belt we have is the 24/7 on call title that was first introduced. That was made from Pro-Ams, which they're cheap, you know, belt. They can. But then I got a hold of Richard Bedford, and he gave me the guy that makes his belts. His name
Mhm.
is, I can't even pronounce it. I know his first name's Jamal, but his last name's like Sahabi, something like that.
Okay.
But he did our main belt, and then he did our flawless championship, and then I have the unique spirits. They made our Native American championship,
Okay.
and we have our tag team championships being made. That's a long story.
Mhm.
Now,
We have one belt. It's supposed to be two, not one. So we're trying to
Right.
figure that out.
when it comes to your titles, have you ever thought about having like a faction championship or a mixed gender tag championship for the mixed tags?
That's actually something I thought about doing, but since we run on tribal land, we don't have rules, I guess, to follow, so we can have intergender matches. So that
Oh.
means, the ladies can go against the men, and they can go for our titles, like
And
regular titles. So
I feel like that's an amazing thing because there's another company that does that. Y'all know AEW has those intergender matches, and it I think it brings in a bigger fan base too. Is when you see because women can do anything the men can do, and they can do it pretty
Yeah.
well.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but this is just me. I don't like intergender matches. It's just me. Because every time I watch an intergender match, I feel like the man just beats the women's ass badly, and I mean badly. That's just me. But I respect the hell out of it. But I don't like seeing women get beat up by like a very strong dude that can just overpower them at anything.
yeah, well, with our company, we've had Nibira. she took on Sweet Cakes for her first intergender match ever, and she actually won that match. And then she had another match with brother Joseph Smythe, and then she won that match. Now she's also going to be in another intergender match at this next show, Suckermania. She's going to be taking on Brandon Groom and Lunchador
Welcome, Wolfie.
for the 24/7 on-call championship. So we're looking forward to that one.
And Oscar, this is our friend Wolfie right here. He's the one I was telling you about wrestling in this company in Canada. And Wolfie, this is Oscar the Amazing, the owner and promoter of MCW Majestic Championship Wrestling.
Nice to meet you, man. I actually have a
Nice
question.
What's up?
So actually, I've been doing training myself for like wrestling over here, and like my it's actually like I'm gonna be honest, it's fucking shit over here. Like wrestlers like that train over here will like wrestle will train for like a year and like a couple of years, right? Then like they're not like really going anywhere because they keep just making them like what's it called? They're just making them like just helping like set up the rings and like just looks like the guys who just always get beat up. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
my family gave me an idea of actually starting a promotion out here of my own, and like what would you like suggest for that? Because like you're a promoter.
Mm-hmm. Well, first thing you got to do is, for me, I bought a ring because I didn't want to rent one.
Yeah, like obviously I'll know that. Like just like asking.
Yeah. So the ring is where it's going to be at for sure. And I don't know, depends on where you're at. You might need a promoter license.
Yeah.
If not, because I don't use one because we're tribal land, and I'm actually Native American, so I get a lot of pull. So found a loophole. But yeah, just get a ring, and
Yeah.
and it takes money too. Like if you go into a show thinking you're going to pay your talent off the door, you're going to fail.
Yeah.
So save up at least $1,000 to go into the show.
Yeah.
And concession, that's where your money's at right there. Concession. Concession in the door plus the $1,000 you have, that's going to pay your talent, and you're going to have a little extra over, for yourself.
What about merch sales? Merch sales included.
Merch sales, it really depends. Because you don't want to make 100 T-shirts and only 40 people show up, then you're going to be out of money that way. Right now we actually just got our Pro Wrestling Tees shirt website
nice.
up. Yeah, and we've been doing okay on that, but we might actually have T-shirts at the next show. We're still thinking about it because I don't know, not a lot of people have been asking for them. So, but yeah, concessions where it's at, and always make sure you have money going into the show.
Yeah, thank you.
But yeah,
I will say this: when I drop this promo for you on Facebook, I will not let you down.
Mm-hmm.
I'm definitely looking forward to it.
I'm not gonna lie, he's actually like really good at promos. He does it on Instagram.
He does.
That's why I got this. Like I said, that's why I got this new face paint on. I painted like without this, and the black was a little bit smaller, but
yeah,
made it pretty cool. So I can't wait to show you what I got.
Promos are not my thing. I'm just more of like a talk guy, just not a wrestler.
Promos are a big part in wrestling. I know that for sure. It defies who your character is and shows the fans.
It does, definitely does.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not good at them either, but I do them because it's part of it. So got to do them.
Yeah. Which is why I'm not a wrestler, but I'm a racer.
Guys,
cool.
we only have 7 minutes left in this video, so whatever else y'all want to say along with Oscar, sorry for interrupting you, but just letting everybody know how much
I was going to say that I was gonna say my phone's actually getting ready to probably die on you. So if I leave, I died. I apologize.
All good. Yeah. Besides, I have to go either way because I have to go do some.
Well, I guess then that means that this is the end of the video.
Yeah.
Well, we
Alrighty.
can keep going. I just, if I black out, it's my fault.
All
Well,
right.
I'm gonna go eat, but it looks like nice meeting you, Oscar. Thank you.
No problem. Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm-
Thank you very much, Oscar. It was definitely Oscar amazing. It was definitely very nice to meet you, man.
Yeah.
You as well. I appreciate you guys having me on.
Yeah, definitely
And
a pleasure.
if anytime you want to be back in here, the next podcast we will have tomorrow will include Jace Osai from NCWO, and Sunday we'll have Dominic Whiteheart.
And not to mention, we will have former NASCAR driver Stephen Lynch in the podcast tomorrow as well.
Two
Oh, nice.
podcasts for the price of one tomorrow. So can't wait to see y'all.
Well, tell you what. Next time, if we do this more in advance, I can bring a wrestler with me. So,
Oh,
uh,
that
All
would
right.
be all right.
yeah,
Yeah.
Sounds
I've
good.
got a few guys that probably.
Bring the world champion.
Oh,
That'd
yeah.
be,
How
that'll
Okay,
be good.
that is the Spotlight Logan Knight, by the way. I could probably
Oh,
get him.
okay.
I could get him.
NCWO wrestler. Okay. But also,
Yeah.
if you can bring him, I'll bring NCWO world champion, the Gatekeeper.
Well, there you go. They actually wrestled a few months ago together. So,
All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and end this video. Thank you again, Oscar, for joining this video. It was a pleasure
yes, thank
having
you
you on
very
the
much.
show.
I appreciate it. Thank you guys for having me, and I'll let Logan know, and we'll see what we can do.
All right. Well, thank you guys, and we will see you next time in the JG Sports Network.
Yes, sir. Have a good
Thanks
one.
for having me. Thank you.